At Lowe's, loyalty is royalty. With Christmas right around the corner, treat yourself for less during the holiday season. Rewards members get early online-only access to Black Friday doorbuster deals on Thanksgiving Day, like the Hisense side-by-side fridge, just $799. Not a member? Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 11/27 only on Lowe's.com. Member-only doorbusters and midnight Eastern. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
French people would. This is Céline and Julie Go Boating.
Hello, welcome to Seen and Heard. This is the podcast all about the sight and sound greatest films of all time lists. I'm Greg.
I'm Jackie.
And we're back on the list this week. We have not really been on the list. Well, we did a personal print last week, Life is Sweet. And then before that, we did a month of horror from the 250 sight and sound list. But now we're back on the 100 where we should be.
Yeah, where we belong.
We even announced this episode along before our break, like next episode, Céline and Julie. And that was like months ago.
Really?
I feel like after Wanda, we were like, anyway.
Well, it's also 3 hours. And sometimes life gets in the way.
Although we've done like 10-hour movies on here before. We did Showa, we did Satan Tango.
But there were special circumstances for both of those. I feel like we took an extra week or something.
Yeah, I think you might be right. But we are joined by a very special guest today. We're joined by a good friend of mine, Elliot Tuttle, who is writer and director of Blue Film, which is his debut feature?
Yes.
Which is fantastic. And everyone should see it when it gets distribution.
Yeah. Word on that later. Yeah, it's been fun. And Greg's known me through a lot of the process. We've been building our friendship as the movie's being built.
Wow.
That's a beautiful metaphor. Tell us a little bit about the film.
It is a drama, I think kind of strictly a drama. It's like a bit of a chamber piece. It's this cam boy who agrees to take a lot of money to spend the night with an anonymous man who turns out has very personal ties to him. I don't know how much to say.
That's good.
Because we were going to say that and then press stuff that we did for all reviews for the film did tell everybody the first act twist.
Oh, really?
So
That's
it feels
not
like,
fun.
well, it's kind of like also hard to talk about without talking about that part. So I get it, but I'll say that as my log line.
The twist is great.
I think so too.
Cool.
The twist is crazy.
And tell us a little bit about the journey of, making an independent film in today's day and age.
Yeah, making the film, it was like, honestly, the production process felt pretty simple. Like we made it with no money, so that meant like very little creative overhead. It was a pretty simple shoot. Like it was all in one house. And I think that I am best when I'm talking about the writing and the actors and talking to the actors about the writing. Like that's one of my favorite parts of it. So in that way, it felt simple. It felt very organic. And the hardest part was definitely the distribution or the festival landscape, seeing like who wants to program what and how everything has become a little bit more risk averse, I guess. And navigating that and figuring out how to get the movie seen, how to get our best possible kind of shot at most eyes on the movie, while also weathering kind of the storm of like a changing market was tougher than any part of actually making the movie, for sure.
And tell us about like the festival run.
It was great. We premiered in Edinburgh and in their competition lineup, and we had experienced a ton of rejection prior to that. And Edinburgh was like the festival where it feels like we kind of sent it in like on a whim and we got in. And so we were like, oh, we got it. And Edinburgh is a great UK festival. Like I've known about Edinburgh, and I think it's the longest running festival in the world for film. Anyway, we're very psyched to go there. Their festival's kind of doing this like rebrand right now. They like took a year off because their main venue was closed, and now they have like new creative leadership, and they're doing. Anyway, it was like a great experience. They took great care of us. It was like really nice crowds. And then we got a lot of fun, good press out of there. And that, I don't know, we did then 5 US festivals in the month after. And we went to New Fest, which is a New York festival that I really love and really wanted the movie to get into. And then, following the premiere at Edinburgh, things kind of felt like the
floodgates opened.
The floodgates opened a little, this is all relative speaking. but yeah. And so then it's been really fun. And we just finished our 6th US festival in a month. And then now things kind of take a break as December sets in.
It's a great, when you do get distribution, which I know is imminent, everyone should see it, because it's not even just that you're a friend of mine, but knowing you and knowing your taste in film, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on so much is because you have a very impassioned, you're just a voracious cinephile. And also not afraid to have the hottest takes, and not afraid to absolutely shut something down too, which I always respect in people. But the fact that I would say your taste in film is veers on the subversive a little bit, or the incendiary cinema of, Salo is one of your favorite films, and you know, and The Seventh Continent. And I would say that your movie, sometimes you see a movie from a friend and you're like, oh, this doesn't feel anything like them. But but Blue Film really does feel like, oh, Elliot made that for sure.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching another Rivette film last night to just be able to give, to even have said that I've seen one other Rivette film when I come on today.
What was the
Which
other one?
Noroit, I think it would be called. I'm not sure if that's the correct pronunciation. Noroit. It's crazy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have not seen
Une Vengeance. Noroit, Une Vengeance. I was doing some light reading on him, purely kind of just because I love him, and was on his Wikipedia. And he had planned this 4-film run of trying to work with the greatest European talent at the time. It was going to be a 4-film run. One of them was Duel, and then this was his second. Was his second in the project, and I don't know if he ever finished it, but it was a part. It fits into this larger thing that he was trying to do of experimenting with genre in each film. And it is so funny to me that he wanted to experiment in genre and make these films on a great grand scale, because this is him at his most kind of obtuse, or at his most impenetrable.
Right.
So it's just interesting that despite whatever ambition it seems like he was having, he was getting weirder but still good. He's the best when he's playful.
Apparently, Céline and Julia is his lightest film, and B the most easily accessible.
I think that's probably true from what I've seen.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see more. This is also the first Rivette I've seen. So,
well, before we get into Céline and Julie, Elliot, let's start with you. Have you seen anything recently that really stood out to you for the first time?
I just watched, I think, my favorite film that I've seen of 2025 so far, which should be Oliver Lax's Surat that Neon has just put out this weekend. I think it's incredible. I was blown away. I was electrified walking out of the theater.
Wow.
It was so good. So Surat, I loved. What else have I been watching? I watched a Kiyoshi Kurosawa movie that I hated.
Which one?
The Guard from Underground.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I thought it was abysmal, but clues of what is there to come for him.
It was an early film for him?
Yeah. And I watched this great documentary, Tarnation.
Oh, yeah.
Recently. Jonathan Coet. I'm dying to see him do another thing, because he made this in 2003. I think he did a companion piece in 2011 that screened at Cannes, and then I haven't really heard of any other projects that he's up to. But it's clearly the work of someone who's so talented and already has this auteur brain. It feels like a very singular kind of creation. And so I loved that film, but I want to see Jonathan Coet make something else, make more things.
Yeah, I saw that in a documentary class. It stuck with me. in school. Jackie, anything recently?
Well, I saw what I think is my favorite film of 2025.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Which is It Was Just an Accident by Jafar Panahi.
Oh, you dip the accident in the simplicity. I was going to quote a Christina Aguilera tweet about dipping Oreos in milk. You dip the accident in the simplicity. It makes it all heart-wrenchy. It's so good. I loved it.
Oh my God. It's incredible. Like, honestly, it was the first time like I left the theater and I was like, and listen, I loved one battle after another, but like it was the first time I walked out of a theater and I was like, okay, finally this year.
Something great.
Really it was. Other than that, I rewatched Thelma and Louise, which was fun. I also rewatched the film adaptation of Phantom of the Opera with Gerard Butler and Emmy Rossum. I love that movie. I love it. It's so silly. I love it.
I haven't seen it since the theater.
Oh my God. So that was me. Greg.
Mine. I just saw a couple. Actually, speaking of French film, I saw La Cérémonie with Isabelle Huppert.
Oh my God, j'adore La Cérémonie.
Yeah. God damn it. I read someone's Letterboxd review before I saw the movie.
Which
spoiled it. It's best to go in not knowing anything, but I thought it was great.
I love it.
It's honestly one of the only times I can think of that Isabelle Huppert has played someone that is so kind of like freewheeling.
Exactly.
Like most of the time she's this icy cold, like in control, morally ambiguous person.
Yeah.
La Cérémonie, she's like getting to play. She's in crazy mode.
Like a child almost.
Yeah, she's very infantile. It's really cool to watch her do that.
She's fucking amazing. And her with Sandrine Bonnaire.
Oh, I love Sandrine Bonnaire.
They're so good
too.
in the supporting cast. And it's just that classic setup of a woman entering servitude for this house, this like, you know, bourgeois family. And yeah, I love stories like that already. But yeah, it goes to places that you don't really expect. And it's just well done. And also this balance of it's funny. It's really darkly funny. It just has a lot going for it. And then this was a rewatch, but for the film club, we did Kiss Me Deadly, which I saw years and years ago, and I didn't fully appreciate it. And I've since gotten way more into like the classic period of noir. And I think seeing it after I saw a bunch of those, I like really appreciate it. Have you guys seen Kiss Me Deadly?
I actually
Robert
haven't.
Aldrich.
But no,
it's so good.
Allow me to say something.
Yeah.
That there are a lot of noirs that I think are really cool, formally interesting. I have such a hard time with, I think I'm pretty genre agnostic in like what I like versus don't like. Like I will like anything if it's good. I will like anything. I will dislike something if it's bad. That's how I think of my taste. Yeah. And then I will always have such a hard time watching a noir because they make me so sad. Like, it's hard to explain, but I think I was telling you that I was watching Douglas Sirk's The Fallen Angels, and which is a very like hard-boiled noir-y story, and it like just depressed the fuck out of me. And it's like, I'll watch Solo, that's fine. Like it's so gorgeous, and it's so I'm watching what is meant to be maybe like a rousing kind of portrait of American life on the fringes, and I'm just so sad watching it. It really puts me in a weird place.
It's so funny to me because one of your favorite movies, The Seventh Continent, is like one of the most destroyed I've ever been by a movie, where I just walked out of that and I was like, God damn, like I'm broken.
Not literally not trying to be a pick-me girl, not trying to be like I'm so weird, but like I was electrified walking out of that movie. I was like singing. I was like, I was singing Céline Dion's The Power of Love, like walking out of that.
You know what's funny? I do know what you're talking about though, because generally depressing movies that are good do lift me, and other
they just
people
make me,
are like,
they jolt you.
Yeah,
they make
you're
me
like,
so
that was so
excited
good
about the form and whatever. But when I watch a noir, it just puts me in a sad place. But I'm honestly, my goal in 2026 is to watch more of them. My goal for 2026 is like more academic viewings, films that are longer that I put off, like things that I don't want to click on is what I'm going to watch in 2026.
I like it. It's a good goal.
So it's like noirs, it's like satin tango.
Oh yeah.
The hard to watch longer academic things I want to watch more of.
Yeah. Well, speaking of long movies, we have one this week. Over 3 hours. This joins the 3 hour plus club. that we've...
We should make a club. We should get jackets.
Yeah, we should.
Mhm.
I know some people who won't even watch a 3-hour movie where it's like, no, that's too long. Which is
3 hours is
fair.
not that
It's an ask of your time for sure. But anyway, let's just get into this week's film.
Number 78 on the top 100.
From 1974, this is Jacques Rivette's Céline and Julie Go Boating.
Céline and Julie Go Boating was released in 1974. It was directed by Jacques Rivette, written by Rivette, Juliette Berthaud, Dominique Labourier, Boule Augier, Marie-France Pissier, with dialogue by Eduardo de Gregorio. The film within the film is based loosely on two works of Henry James, the novel The Other House, and a short story, The Romance of Certain Old Clothes. Cinematography by Jacques Renard. Music by Jean-Marie Senya. Julie sits on a park bench in Paris when Céline rushes past, dropping her sunglasses on the way. As Julie tries to catch up with her to return them, Céline leads her on a chase through the city, dropping more items on the way. She finally catches up with her, returning her items, and the two go their separate ways. That is until Céline shows up to the library where Julie works. Julie then finds Céline with a bloody knee waiting for her in her apartment building. Céline tells Julie she cut herself while fleeing from the house she used to nanny at after inadvertently outing the father for having an affair. She moves in with Julie, and the two start to trade identities for fun. Céline goes to a reunion with a childhood sweetheart in Julie's place. Julie replaces Céline at her job as a cabaret magician one night. Julie goes to the mysterious, seemingly empty house Céline told her about. Hours later, she is ejected from the house with no memory of what occurred, but finds a hard candy lodged in her mouth. This begins a cycle in which both Céline and Julie go to the house individually, witness the same domestic drama unfolding. Céline or Julie play the nanny to a young girl named Madeleine, while her widower father, Olivier, is torn between two women, Camille, his deceased wife's sister, and Sophie. The girl ends up murdered, but neither Céline nor Julie can remember who kills her. Finally, they realize they can simultaneously eat the candies at home and watch the drama unfolding before them. When they run out of candy before the end of the story, they make a memory potion, which lets them watch for longer. Finally, they both go to the house together and enter the story as themselves, taking control of the dialogue and actions. They discover Sophie to be the murderer and try to save Madeleine, eventually waking up back in Julie's apartment to find Madeleine there. They decide to take her boating. While floating on a lake, a boat carrying Olivier, Camille, and Sophie, still as mannequins, passes them. Suddenly, Céline is the one on the bench, and she wakes to Julie rushing past her, dropping her book on the way. She chases after her as the film comes to a close. The film stars Julie Berthaud as Céline, Dominique Labourier as Julie, Boule Augier as Camille, Marie-France Pissier as Sophie, and Barbette Schroeder as Olivier. Barbette Schroeder is also one of the film's producers. While the actors are credited as writers because of the amount of collaboration and improv, this was actually way less improv than Jacques Rivette's previous two films, which were strictly improv. The 12-hour-long Out One, which had only been screened once when this film came out, and L'Amour Fou, which is 4 hours. Jacques Rivette was editor-in-chief of the Cahiers du Cinéma from 1963 to 1965. And Céline and Julie Go Boating is his greatest commercial success. And like I said earlier, apparently his lightest and most accessible film. Rivette once said that he hates the phrase "a film by" because he always believed that a film was made by at least 15 people. And this film was supposed to be, funnily enough, a Phantom of the Opera-inspired period piece with Jeanne Moreau and Julie Berthaud, but he lacked the funding and he kind of killed it. So he decided to make this instead. He wanted to make something cheap and doable and fun. And he knew that Julie Berthoud and Dominique Labourière were close friends. So he just wanted to do something with that. To go boating has a double meaning in French. It means to deceive or hoodwink someone and like take them on a journey. The film is inspired by and references Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, particularly when Céline and then Julie are, muttering and dropping things and being chased through the city. Marcel Proust's novel The Search of Lost Time has a character who eats a Madeleine cookie and then has this involuntary memory of his childhood. So that's kind of where the hard candies come from. There's also a reference to the vampires, and particularly Irma Vep's outfit, which is what Céline and Julie wear when they steal the potion book. And the film won the special prize of the jury at the Locarno Film Festival, and it played at the New York Film Festival. And those are my specs.
Wow. Yeah,
There's not much about the actual production of this movie. Usually I have like a bunch of production facts. Yeah.
Well, before we get into initial thoughts, just this quick word from our sponsors.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
So, Elliot, let's start with you as our guest. What are your initial thoughts of the movie? Had you seen it before? Had you not seen it before?
I had never seen it before. I had seen a few Rivette films before. I had seen Paris Belongs to Us, which I loved when I first saw it. It feels very spiritually similar to this. I had seen Le Pont du Nord, which Boulanger is in with her mother. That movie's great. I had just seen a few works of his and really, really liked them, Duel being one of them. And then I saw this and it kind of really blew me away. Like I really loved it. Also, I'm happy that I get to talk about it on a podcast because I had kind of been saving it. Again, my goal for 2026 is to not save movies for anything anymore, is to just watch them. But I really, really had such a good time with the movie. I loved it. The 3 hours for me felt easy with this movie. Like I could have lived in that world for longer, I think. Yeah.
Beautiful. Jackie.
That is beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I hadn't seen this before. Again, one that I had been wanting to see for so long. Similar to Elliot, I do love this world so much, and I love living with these two girls for 3 hours. It's really fun. And this is the French Daisies, really. Like, that was like my initial thought, especially when things started getting fun. I was like, okay, yeah. And Rivette was such a cinephile. Like, definitely, I think he was influenced by Daisies. But it's such a French version of that kind of story, right? It could only be this. I wish this movie was shorter just so I could watch it every now and then. You know what I mean? Because, like, it's hard.
You still can, girl.
I know I can. But, like, even when I was watching it this time, maybe it's just because I'm really busy right now. Like, I just kept getting interrupted, and that bugged me.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a shorter movie, I could throw it on anytime. Yeah. I know technically I can.
No, I'm being also a little, like, I think the reason, like, I am able, the thing that will get me to be able to, like, really sit in, like, a long watch for a long period of time is like if I can just like constantly kind of feel like the movie is like holding me or somewhere, it's comforting, or it feels it's easy to relax into and just be in there. Like, and this is a movie that feels that way to me. It's like I could put this on if I have nothing to do on a Sunday in like a year or two when I want to rewatch it, and it will be easy just because it is such like makes you feel so relaxed in a way. Like it's so easy to just sink into.
Yes. I agree. Yeah, and I just, I love films where like two or more women have this like cosmic or almost supernatural connection. And I feel like this is really the comedy entry into that genre, because everything else is like, you know, Three Women or Mulholland Drive. Like it gave that a little bit, but this is the comedy version.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the problem is though, is that this time, especially if I'm going to do a movie for the podcast, I do try and find a lot of meaning. Like I try to like watch it and really like, I'm like analyzing every word and everything. I'm looking forward to the rewatch because I know I don't have to do that, because it's not meant to be watched like that. And I guess I didn't know that. It is nice to watch something and just be like, I totally didn't know where this was going. Like that was so nice. But I thought I was supposed to be looking out for like clues and hints. And they are there.
I mean,
and they're easy to spot, but still, there's a difference between watching a 3-hour movie for the podcast and watching it for fun.
Yeah. I think that to me, like the way that the film feels so profound to me, like, is in its form. Like, it's not necessarily like narrative clues or anything. It's like watching kind of Jacques Rivette make Paris his playground for 3 hours, and it's like all of these characters are like little chess pieces, and it's like when you can take the film, like looking at it in its form, it is so playful and so irreverent, and it's like that being the point, it makes it feel so profound.
Totally.
I think the reason that the film feels so impenetrable is its length and its kind of lack of, like, you know, a coherent narrative, but kind of that being the point, and that also makes it so fun, is like, it's just ironic to me that that is the reason it feels impenetrable. It's also the reason why I think it's really accessible and really fun and kind of easy to watch in a way. Yeah.
Craig, initial thoughts?
So this one's kind of, I'd seen this before, probably 6 or 7 years ago, and it's funny because I didn't remember a lot about it this time, and I remember loving it the first time, but I also think I kind of gave it the benefit of the doubt. And I feel like I'm on my anti-French film tour right now this year, especially, where I'm like, this French movie sucks and that French movie sucks. No, look, I'm in the middle with this. I so love what this movie's doing. I love how adventurous it is stylistically and its form, everything. Like, I love all of that about it. This movie, opposite of you, Elliot, this movie was a chore for me to get through. Like, I was in pain. Because, and I agree with Jackie, this should have been 90 minutes. If this was 90 minutes and he cut all this, I think there's a lot of superfluous shit in here that just kind of like, especially the drama in the house. Like, why do I care?
I love that.
I like that a lot.
But here's the thing. Then in the credits, when it was like, oh, based on Henry James, I'm like, what? I'm like, he literally made Henry James as boring as possible. And I think too, part of it has to do with just like the way he shoots it and lingers on it, and every fucking scene just goes on and on and on, way past the point of, I think, where he should have cut. So it's like, but look, I also don't dislike this movie because I love movies like this, and I love that it's this love letter to cinema.
I feel like you are allowed to dislike it.
But the thing is, I don't, because I've come on here before and I'm like, this movie fucking sucks. I don't think it sucks, but it is painful to watch. But like 80, like no, like 60% of it is painful to watch, and then 40% I think is incredible.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If it was strictly just this story of like, because listen, this film within the film really takes off once you understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Before you understand like what that is,
right? It's frustrating.
I could say true, yeah. So if it was shortened and condensed, and you knew that was the plot from the start, like, oh, they can enter this house, they can see this drama, and then they're going to see it together, would that be better?
No, just make the stuff in the house more actually interesting.
Okay, Greg's being a bitch on the podcast right now.
Here's the thing though, like, he lets these scenes play out for so long, and not even in the house, but like Céline and Julie, like them on, like, have you seen the original cut of Killing of a Chinese Bookie?
No.
So it's this whole thing where in that movie, Ben Gazzara owns this nightclub, and you just see these acts, like comedy acts or musical acts, go on and on and on and on, and they're like kind of shitty, and they're supposed to be shitty. Then Cassavetes later recut the movie and he tightened the shit out of it. But if you watch that initial version, it just drags so much. And that's what I felt like in this. It's just not just the nightclub stuff, because it's great for a while, but then it just keeps going and keeps going, keeps going. But also just Céline and Julie like fucking off, or like there's also like a twee Frenchness about it where like Clever and Clover get mixed up and they're like, I'm so Clover. And I'm like, shut up. It's like,
I love that.
it's just, I just like, there's something about it that rubs me the wrong way, but I also like have a deep love for like what he's trying to do here and what he does sometimes. And I do love how the magic in this movie, there's no fanfare behind it. It's like they ring a bell, the door opens, there's no special effect, there's no music, there's no making a moment out of it. It feels like very organic. And I love that it looks like it's shot on 16 millimeter. And I love that kind of just like almost naturalistic thing going on. But I just think this is a tough watch in a way that like, yeah, we've watched Satan Tango on here and stuff. And
Satan Tango was easier than that?
oh yeah, wait, because you get absorbed into that. And it's just like, I would get absorbed into this and then I would be completely out of it. And then I get back in.
Let me say something real quick. This is a skill issue. And your adorable, lovely wife just handed me a cup of tea, sat me down on the couch. She said, oh, great. And yeah, and I think they're going to start. She's being so kind to me. I didn't know. She should have given me a sword. She should have given me a gun instead of a cup of tea. I didn't know this is what this podcast was. I didn't know you were going to be such a bitch on here.
Yeah.
Because
have you heard our episode on Breathless?
No, but a movie I would defend till I'm breathless, till my last breath. So keep it classy, you two, right now.
That one would be painful for you. That one would be painful for you. Pierre Le Fou would be painful for you.
Terrible movie. I think
debating in my head whether to walk out right now or not. Let me say something. I really love this movie, and I really respond to a lot of what I see from Jacques Rivette, because yes, a film is made by 15 people. Respect that totally, and true to some extent. But Jacques Rivette, like when you are watching his films, he has this way of specifically like blocking his scenes, which is like, I love his style of kind of Duel or Céline and Julie Go Boating, where it's kind of these almost like bizarre cosmic kind of stories about magic. Like he is a kind of, to me, cinema's like magician. Like it is all about like the mischievous and fun of like trickery kind of.
Yeah.
And then he stages them like he's doing like a black box play in like some basement in Paris. Like the way these characters move and talk, it's like, again, watching Norrois, which I said there was another Rivette film that I just saw. It's like, this film is about a female band of pirates that like live in a castle. I'm watching this movie. I'm like, none of these girls know how to climb a rope. Like none of these girls are pirates, obviously. No, these are like characters. These are like actors that he plucked to like almost be in like a tiny play of words that he wrote. And to me, I just kind of love that, like, it feels, all of his films to me feel like kind of, they meet like a hyper realist sensibility of the way the characters move and talk, and they're always kind of framed around something really grand or crazy. Like I think that is some like a dichotomy in his work specifically that is so cool. I think it is at the forefront in Céline and Julie Go Boating. Like it is so present in the film. It's like you kind of have to vibe with that or not. I think it is worthy of being vibed with. And it makes it cooler. Like it makes the film cooler.
I agree. And I think like when you think back on this movie, it's really easy to have like rose-colored glasses on. I mean, I do when I'm like hearing you guys talk about the movie and hearing Jackie summarize the plot or whatever. But it's like, yeah, that's great.
That's what I'm asking. If it was that, what I read, but tighter, shorter,
it's just that's where here's the thing, and I don't know that I 100% that my opinion on this could change next month, but I think filmmakers have to be cognizant of people's time. And And I think Rivette is not gracious with people's time. I mean, I have not seen Out One. I can probably say I'll never watch it.
I don't think you'd like it.
Yeah, just based on this, I'm like, oh, this for 12 hours.
12 hours. Well,
But,
it's not. Actually, that one's more improv.
Yeah. So, but like, you have to be gracious with people's time. And I think that there's no reason that this movie should be over 3 hours long. And I do get that is a trigger for me. And I love a long film. I love a big, sprawling film. And I know that what he's tackling here is like big. But it just doesn't need to be this long.
The issue, it feels to me like the issue for you is that you thought the film was a chore.
Yeah.
I don't think that a filmmaker has to be conscious of people's time. I think it's his job to make what you are choosing to press play on good.
Like, yeah, that's fair.
He's also generous in many respects of like, with an audience of like, I just think anyone who offers an audience a really great movie that is going to take a year off at least of the filmmaker's life is generous, like by virtue.
Let's talk about where we lost Greg. So the first scene, like, let's talk about this first scene because this might be bad, but I honestly think the first scene is like my favorite of chasing Céline, and they're in Montmartre and she's on the cable car and she's running up the stairs.
Well, it has that Alice in Wonderland feel to it.
I loved it so much.
Yeah.
I love how the moment it opens, she's already reading a book on magic. She's already making the symbol in the sand. Like, I love how magic is just like there from the start. I really love that. I love the wild goose chase. And I love that when she finally finds her, they like already have an inside joke. Like, she says like, Mademoiselle, and she goes, merci, monsieur. And I'm like, okay, these two know each other. And she like drinks the cognac. But they don't, and you don't realize that until later. Or maybe they do, because this whole thing is a circle. And again, at the end, it's Céline who's on the bench. So, I don't know. I just really love that a lot. I love the opening. Like, I think the bookends are nice. 15 minutes is great.
Yeah.
But do you guys think, let's talk about the circular nature a little bit. Like, do you guys think they know each other?
I don't know how, to me, when watching the film, it almost feels a little bit unimportant just because to me it feels like, it's going to sound so pretentious, but it's
this
like
is the place for it.
An experience, like watching the film as an experience to sink into. It feels in some, like, I can tell while watching it that it feels truthful to like life or my life, like, and it's just something that you jump on kind of, I think, pretty immediately, is that it felt resonant to me. And also, if you read my diary, I'm writing about the same shit every week. Nothing ain't new, nothing changed, nothing ever changes.
Yeah.
Like, I love that the circular nature of the story, that it being, the events being cyclical, is it just feels resonant.
For sure.
And it's harder to explain.
Yeah. But it is interesting that the movie starts with, I think it's like, it usually begins like this, or it usually starts like this.
Yeah.
And then it's them. So that's why I was like, okay, so these are like freaky friends.
Yeah.
So that's why I was thinking, but I agree with you. Yeah. The repetition.
But no, I do think it's also interesting to talk about, like, sometimes I wonder in like the analysis of film, or when we're kind of like critically thinking and talking about a film, like, I wonder if Rivette just said to these actors, like, I wonder if the actors might have asked the same question, like, do we know each other? Do we think? And I feel like Rivette probably would have said, like, that doesn't matter.
It's a dream, yeah. This is
like,
dream
it doesn't
logic.
matter.
Like, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
just something to think about. But it is like, that is probably something that actors ask when they're thinking about it.
For
I
sure.
don't know. Just
right. And in this case, the actors are
We're
responsible
friends.
for the creation of the story.
Yeah.
Even.
And they were really close friends before. Yeah. But I just love their connection. Like, I love when she makes the Bloody Mary, not knowing that that's what Céline is like, oh, I'd really love a Bloody Mary. That part's fun. Also really made me want a Bloody Mary. Like, it just looked so good in that moment.
There's never a bad time for a Bloody Mary.
And then the heart-shaped swimming pool again.
Yeah.
When she brings it up. I love that.
That part was,
Like, I love freaky friends like that. Like, I love movies, like I said, where these, like, women have, like, this weird cosmic connection. Even La Cérémonie, I feel that.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, that you mentioned.
I think, one thing I love about this movie is I ultimately do think it's about Rivette's love of cinema and the wonders of cinema, because what's unfolding in this house is a film
Is a movie
that they can't wait to get back to. And I love all that stuff about it. I love the magic. But I think it illustrates, you mentioned daisies, and I think it illustrates why I like daisies so much more. It's just that it has this, the playfulness feels playful, whereas here the playfulness is tedious.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's so fun. What about when she's at her job at the library and that guy's smoking and she's like, you can smoke, but only discreetly. And then like she takes a puff.
It's like so drawn out though.
What? I
All
love
right.
it.
I'm getting mad.
And then the children are, when her friend is like, oh, the children are loud today. And she turns around and it's Céline.
Yeah.
It's so good. Or the Irma Vep costumes on roller skates. That's really funny to me.
Yeah.
Like I actually laughed.
This holiday season, celebrate in the middle of everything. From the glistening lights of Galena to the festive magic of Chicago's Magnificent Mile, Illinois has everything on your wish list. Bundle up and meet the reindeer before their big night. Raise a toast in a cozy snow globe. Or get a taste of the North Pole as you sip, shop, and stroll through the Christkindl Market. Start a new tradition and plan your holiday getaway at enjoyillinois.com.
In that moment, I don't know. I think it's really funny. I don't know if it's.
I think
tedious.
It is. Yes, it is like one of the most amusing films that I have seen recently. It's harder to call it funny, and it's harder to call like it is amusing. It is like a constant like. Just like you are on an amusement park ride.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
Yeah, I get that.
That's how it feels to me.
But a slightly boring one.
But a feminist one.
Yeah, and I love that about it. And I do love I do love that the main characters, it is like you mentioned Persona and Three Women and Mulholland Drive and stuff.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
I actually forgot to mention Persona. Yeah, you're right.
But no, it's like the characters in this have seen Persona and are trying to do it. And I like that
funny way.
That meta-ness about it of like, this is cut from the same cloth, but it's because they're willing it into existence, which is, I like that about it. And it,
like, let's talk about, speaking of feminism, let's talk about when they assume each other's identities. And so Céline goes to this childhood sweetheart, who, by the way, doesn't even recognize that it's not Julie. He doesn't even realize. And they just have like,
she does her hair and everything.
Corny, like sappy, I don't know, version of this like hetero romance,
which
like,
also
like,
had me hooked.
Hilarious,
I will say,
though.
like
weird, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
I agree. And then, of course, she pulls down his pants, and he's like, "You're so vulgar."
Yeah,
it's so good. While children are watching, by the way.
All those people,
I love that.
all the extras in this movie are just people who were.
Oh,
like,
you know they didn't have a permit. Yeah, of course they didn't have a permit.
Because you see people like staring at what's happening.
Which I kind of love.
Yeah.
And then Julie pretends to be Céline and blows that audition for like the worldwide tour, which is hilarious. I thought that part was really funny. Like when she was just giving like a bad performance, I genuinely thought that was hilarious.
Well, one thing that I also really respond to in the movie is that it is like nihilist in a way that a lot of my favorite films are, I think. I don't think I'm a nihilist, but I like that. I can appreciate that. And to me, this is like, it's like a nihilist comedy. It's like, okay, so really nothing matters besides, getting freaky with your freaky friend.
Yeah.
Like, it's great.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But and then she insults those guys for being voyeurs and pimps, and she runs down those stairs in Montmartre. And it's just so good.
Yeah.
And then there's the melodrama, right? And again, it's this very like heteronormative, like just like two women after this one guy and like willing to kill a child for it. Like it's super funny and it's super stuffy, and just the fact that they go in there and just fuck shit up is just, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I really like it. And I feel you, Greg. It is frustrating when you don't know what the hell is going on and you're only getting it in bits. But then to me, when I found out what was going on, I was like, oh, that's hilarious. Like that's, and then I was anticipating, I was like, okay, now we're going to get more. And it's like them. It's true. You're truly put in their point of view of like, okay, I can really only remember this bit and how frustrating that is.
Right.
in a dream logic way. And then when you finally get the full picture each time a little more, it's so fun to me. Like, I thought it was fun.
I think though, like Rivette does something with the stuff in the house where, especially once they start taking the candy at the same time, because obviously the character in the house flips to either Céline or Julie.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll like play scenes twice, once with Julie, then once with Céline. And it's like, dude, we know. Like, I don't need to see that scene twice. I don't know. It just felt...
No one validate him.
I don't know, but I do like this movie. You know, like I don't hate it. It's just it is. I think the fact that it's intangible is part of its charm.
I also think
so.
I also think that I feel this way about movies a lot, or I also think this way about like being a viewer a lot, is that a lot of your experience with film is actually so dependent on when you're watching it, where you're at in the day. Like,
totally.
I remember watching Visconti's Death in Venice, and I remember while I was watching it, being like so relaxed while watching it, and that kind of allowed me to like really enjoy this pretty this beautiful movie where not a lot happens. And I remember thinking while watching it, like, if I put this on at like 1 p.m., maybe after I woke up from a nap, I'm a little antsy, but I like made myself watch it, I would fucking hate this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like rail about it. Like, and so it is really dependent.
It's
sometimes
fragile.
it is a fragile kind of thing.
Where were you when you watched this?
I was here, and the thing
what
is,
time was it?
I started it in the morning, and I had to do several sittings just because, which I don't normally do, but this was tedious.
Also, maybe I'm a bad cinephile, but I think that's fine. I think it is totally fine.
I had to stop it halfway too. I had to do something and then come back, but
it's a big ask. It's a big time commitment. But what Elliot was just saying, I remember a couple years ago we did Andrei Rublev on here, and it's a movie I love. But I remember the time that I watched it for this show, I wasn't in the mood to watch it, and so I came on here and I was like, I love the movie, but this last time I saw it, I like wasn't feeling it because I just wasn't in the mood to watch Andrei Rublev.
But then
it does.
You have really great films where it's like, and we've talked about this too, where we both sat down and we're like not in the mood to watch this, and then it just slaps.
Yeah.
So that happens too.
It's true.
But that is also one of the great things about, I think probably anybody who like watches a lot of films, is a cinephile per se, has like an internal experience with themselves where they're like constantly like evaluating how they watch movies, how they like, I can at this point like take what serves me and acknowledge what doesn't. Like for Céline and Julie Go Boating, it really served me when I was watching it. Like, I was into it, I loved it, I thought it was great, I had a lot of fun. With something like Andrei Rublev, if I sat down to watch it in a time when I wasn't in the mood to watch it, I might just not watch it.
Yeah.
Like, you can do whatever you want. Those, like, do you know what I mean?
I feel you, but I also am the type to like judge myself, and it's like, I'm not.
Well,
also it's because we love it so much.
Maybe,
it's like
maybe.
Well, and I think the context of having a film podcast where these movies become assignments, right? Where it's like, I wouldn't watch Andrei Rublev if I wasn't feeling it, but that time I had to watch it for this, and so it's like. But you're conflicted about it because you're like, well, I don't want to put it on when I'm not in the mood for it, but I have to do it, and it's this.
Yeah.
I
also think that sometimes, like, I don't know, I might need to verbalize this to like get my way to what the point I'm trying to make. But it's like sometimes if I am putting on a movie like that, I know I'm like tasking myself with something.
So here's the thing about Céline and Julie, because I know myself, and I know if I watch this again, I'll feel the same way, just because I think I could be in a more gracious mood and maybe like it a little bit more. But I do think that this movie wastes your time in a way to an extent. And I did see, there's an interview. I don't have the Criterion of this. I have the BFI because at the time it was the only way to see it in decent quality. And there's an interview on the disc with a film historian, I believe. And he says that Rivette was very conscious of using time in a way to make it more immersive, of like having you feel the passage of time, which explains why he made so much long shit. But like, I do think that this movie, I think he has this obsession with time and drawing it out and all this stuff, but I really do think it would benefit from a trim. And I do think it should be like half the length. If this was like 90 or 100 minutes, I think I would love this movie.
I think it might feel too slight to me.
Yeah.
Daisy's feels kind of slight to me.
And that one is short.
Because that one's short. It's like the profundity of the movie feels in how long I was with it. Like,
but do you think that's just because it was long, or do you think he's able to achieve more things with a runtime than?
Well, I kind of don't even know if it matters that much because I still feel profoundly. Like, I think it could feel slight if it was 90 minutes, but the fact that it's like 190 minutes is nice to me.
Also, I think in the way I'm just really fascinated with movies that actually feel like dreams, because a lot of movies try to actually feel like a dream and they can't.
Right.
And so I get excited when I find one that actually feels like a dream. And I just feel like if it's shorter, it can't really achieve that. Because sometimes I wake up from a dream and I'm like, holy, I cannot
Eraserhead
believe.
is like 80 minutes or something though, right?
Yeah, but yes.
Or Unshenandalu is like 29 minutes or something.
Okay, but that doesn't feel as like an actual dream that I would have.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that the length helps me there a little bit. It helps me because sometimes I wake up from a dream and I'm like, wow, the last week of my life was a dream. That's crazy.
You know, actually, no, and that's totally valid. And actually, this is a note I had and I forgot to make this note. This movie reminds me, I feel very similar about these two movies. This movie reminds me of Inland Empire, actually. It's another movie that feels like a major work, but I have trouble with both of them. But the thing is, this is the only Rivette I've seen, so I don't know if I'm a Rivette fan.
Paris Belongs to Us, I think. I mentioned that I thought it was like very thematically in conversation with Céline and Julie, because it is another film that kind of concerns itself with like people as like chess pieces in some like larger kind of cosmic scheme. And that film starts as one thing. It starts as like these actors kind of like rehearsing for a play and then reveals itself to be something more sinister. And like it ends up not being a comedy. It's not a comedy. But in a lot of, structural ways, it is reminiscent of this movie. I would recommend it though. It's also shorter, so I think Greg would like it. It's like 2 hours.
I might have mentioned this on the podcast once before because I kind of remember it, but I once had a dream where I could take things into a dream. Like I could hold on to a physical object while I fell asleep, and then in my dream I would have it. And this was all a dream. And so I kept dreaming that I was on the Titanic, and I was like, oh, I have to save the Titanic somehow. So then I would wake up and try and get I don't know, gaffer tape to close up a hole. Like shit like that. I was doing that in the dream. And so this really reminded me of that, especially when they take Madeline out of the dream. So I was like, that's why I feel very this movie like gets a gold star from me of like, oh yeah, this really feels like a dream I would have, because I had a kind of similar one.
Yeah.
But
my like fervor for this movie, like my passion for this film is also coming from someone who decidedly is like against dream logic in cinema.
Got you.
No one knows how to do it. I think only like a few people can make that compelling.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like
agree.
Going to be some obtuse like student film that is going to just piss you off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Céline and Julie is the like best possible scenario for me of like a dream logic film.
Yeah, it's definitely up there for me as well. But let's also talk about what the film says about like how we consume stories, because really it's about the joy of like watching a TV show or movie with your best friend.
Yeah.
It's kind of that.
It's like a soap opera.
Because they're only having fun when they're watching it together at the same time. That's the only time when they're not actually characters themselves. So it's that thing of like when you watch a movie or a show and you really love it, but you don't talk to anyone about it, it exists only in your mind and it's like you are in it. But something about talking to someone else, it's like, oh, you can recognize that that's just a story and we can enjoy it together.
Yeah.
I really like that about it. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, I think the point that I was trying to make before I got lost earlier is that someone said something to me in college one time, and it was like one of my friends, and he said that as soon as he realized it was okay to be bored in a movie, like all bets were off. He felt so free. He was so happy to watch anything. And I was like, it kind of is true.
Totally.
Like as soon as you give yourself permission to feel other things besides like compelled or excited, then cinema kind of like opens up to you because you find things in unexpected places. You find like, I feel like I just gave myself permission in watching this movie to be like, whatever it has to offer, I will receive. And it's like, you can feel frustrated, you can feel annoyed, you can feel anything. But the reason why watching a film, kind of to answer this question, I guess, that you posed kind of, is that it's like watching a film is like a very empathetic experience, or it is a very selfless thing to do because you are kind of at the mercy of everyone who made the film, and you are agreeing to feel the way that they want you to feel for however long they want you to feel it. And like it's kind of a nice thing to do. Like that principle is kind of nice, I think. I don't think it's weird. I think like
it's vulnerable.
Yeah, the experience of just having to sit there and be like, I'm going to feel whatever they made and whatever they wanted me to feel is a nice thing. So I would be like, yeah, it's fine when people are annoyed by something or frustrated by a film, or it's this process of like evaluating films critically. It's like such like a languid thing. It doesn't really exist. I don't think. Everyone is kind of creating reasons to justify like a primal feeling they had while watching the movie, whether it was off-put or you were off-put or you're disgusted or you were excited or thrilled or something. And like, I think that's one thing that this movie really made me think about is you're kind of being tested by a long runtime, and you are, again, the film concerns itself with like viewership of media, like, and they feel frustrated and they feel something, and it will like consume their day, and they go feel like.
There's even a part where Julie starts falling asleep.
She says, "I'm
Where's
bored."
Céline?
Yeah, she says, I'm bored.
Yeah.
And the other one is like, that's okay.
I'll
You can
tell
be
you
bored.
later.
I'll tell you what happens later.
Yeah.
Because the other one isn't bored.
Exactly. It's exactly what you said, though, Elliot.
like-
Of like, once they allowed themselves to admit that they were bored with that stuff and they watched it together, it did open up to them, I feel like.
And there is also virtue and value in being other emotions besides, happy and content while watching a film. Like,
Yeah, and I agree with that. But I think, and I do see that it's built in that Rivette is almost like, yeah, you're supposed to be a little bored with this. But someone could also
But
be
you
like,
were
I want you
bored
to
and
roll
you didn't
around and
like-
shit.
So it
and I'm,
worked.
I don't want to do it.
But also, maybe this is the podcast arc for me is starting by being absolutely disgusted by Greg not liking this movie, and now being like, it's okay that you didn't like it. You don't have to like everything. You don't have to.
But really,
The
like,
virtue is in watching it and is
Yeah.
in being like open to it and that process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know what's funny though? When they take control, when they enter the house and now they're, I guess, having like a lucid dream, like they can actually control what they're doing and they're no longer these characters. It's because they're wearing these silly dinosaur eye rings, they're talismans. And at one point, Céline drops hers and then she like stands up straight and she's like, the child has to go to sleep. And then Julie's like, oh, you dropped your talisman, and puts it back on her. And I'm watching it and I'm like, isn't that Inception? Isn't that the plot of Inception? Don't they have those like talismans when they're in the dream to know that they're
something like
in
that.
the dream?
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious.
Also, Rivette reminding us that like we create our own meaning. So they just created meaning for these dinosaur eyes, and then it actually meant something.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, if you can create the meaning for the movie, then you did it. And then if you can't, then it's fine. It wasn't for you.
And I love that part where they actually go in and they're changing up the lines and they're like, I forgot my lines.
It's so playful. It's so fun.
Oh, it's so fun.
Deconstructs everything we saw before.
And all they keep drinking from the flask, right? And I love when Julie gives Céline the flask and she takes a sip and she spits it out. She's like, bitch, tea without sugar.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Fun and
I really love that part.
I think there is this sort of tweeness though that does bother me, and I think it's inherent in some of the French New Wave, not all, but some of. But there's like, she drops the book at one point and she's like, you dropped your squirrel, and I'm like, shut up. It's just like, it's very low effort whimsy, attempted.
but it
win.
They're
keeps
talking
you
about
guessing.
a 3.5-hour magnum opus as low effort whimsy because of that one line. That's a
See,
little
but I
reductive.
love that. But I kind of love that because at the end, you think you know what's happening. You're like, oh my God, it's repeating. They're going to do the same thing. And then she says, you dropped your squirrel. And I'm like, well, fuck, no, I don't know anything, actually. I don't know anything about what's going to happen.
You know, I'm thinking to go back to what Elliot was saying too about the boredom and an intentional intention when you're watching a movie, or just like you experience what you're supposed to experience. And I agree with that, but fuck, I don't know. Because it's funny, right? Like you can watch a Bellatar 7-hour movie. Like I wasn't bored once in any Bellatar I've seen. I wasn't bored once when we did Showa, which is like 10 hours long. Like I'm just thinking of like Tarkovsky, like I'm not bored, and I was bored in this. And like, I don't know that that's an emotion that I want to feel in a movie. But it's interesting because I like the idea of it. And like the way you just described it, I'm on board with that. But then when I'm sitting down to watch this, like the fact that my memory of how bored I was during a good chunk of this movie will probably prevent me from seeing this again. Maybe this is my second time. Maybe I'll see this one more time in my life. But like when I'm like, 20 years from now or something. But
I guess all of what I just said, I will put it like maybe a slight disclaimer or an amendment to say like, I'm also someone who believes that there is such thing as taste level, and that some movies are like, there is a more objective way to kind of qualify a film, or to, like it's not like an all bets are off. If you were bored, then the movie wasn't for you. It's still good. Like, no, I guess I'm more talking about like just the personal experience of like how you relate to watching a film,
right.
But there is something to be said for if you are unstimulated by a film, then it could be because that film is not good.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's the case here.
Well, clearly I'm in the minority because people love this movie. And I think what's interesting about it is, like, what is film criticism or any kind of art criticism? Because there's no rubric. There shouldn't be a rubric to which art is judged. Like, well, a movie has to feel this way or has to be 3 acts or whatever, because I don't believe in any of that. So really all criticism is a personal reaction to something.
But then we do love a really tight, for example, Hollywood noir from...
Yeah.
And that's very formulaic.
Yeah.
And it's funny because there's a little bit of that in this, in that even though they know the same things are happening every day in this movie that they're watching, they still want to watch it.
Yes.
So that's also even kind of related.
Black Friday? More like Black Friday, yay! Shop the DSW Black Friday sale and take 30% off almost all the shoes, accessories, and giftable goodies we've got at DSW.com. Plus 30% off just about every regular price item at your DSW store. Score shoes that get you and everyone on your list at prices that get your budget. So carpe the deal. Head to Designer Shoe Warehouse and get that gift list done. DSW, let us surprise you.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking too, if this movie came out now, regardless of what country it came from, I don't know that like it would be revered in the same way, just because I don't know that people now have the patience for something like this. I think it comes out in 74 in France. It's such an art house kind of boom that like people took it for what it was and embraced it. But I think now, I don't know.
My boyfriend asked me this last night about something related to film. I don't remember what exactly it was, but he was like kind of trying to echo Addison Rae's quote about like, taste is a luxury, like having good taste is a luxury. I don't believe that's true, but I believe that if you, I don't want to say the word train, but being able to like watch a film like Céline and Julie Go Boating and to get an actual real enjoyment from it, I think is a result of you have had to prep yourself for that, or like you have to kind of train your brain to view things a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Because one, if you don't do it, like the world is doing it for you. One, but two, I don't think taste is exclusive. I think with the internet, kind of anyone is able to acquire kind of taste or develop a taste enough to like sit through a 3.5 hour kind of nonsensical movie and get an actual satisfaction from it. But in that way, I don't think it's exclusive, but I do think it requires you to make an effort.
Right. Well, I think a movie like this too, we've talked about like the Bresson theory, right, of like leaning into a film or movies that lean out to you. And this, I think this very much is a movie you have to lean completely into, because the movie will not meet you halfway. It's like, you need to come here. And I appreciate that. But I think like what's interesting, and this goes to show, because I did first see this, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. It's probably like 30 years old, maybe even late 20s. And it goes to show, like, I think we talked on the show before, but like when I was in high school and first discovering all these art house films, it was all good because you were learning and you were like, yes, of course, I like this. I like this. You were just, your mind was open. And this sounds bad, but in a way, I feel like as I've gotten older, as you know what you like and what you don't like, it's starting to close, the window's closing a little for me. It just in terms of like, you know, the older you get, the more you just know what you want from something, which maybe that's just
you don't like French film.
No, but I don't want to put a blanket statement on it because there's a lot of French filmmakers I really love. But I think it's just like, I don't know. In theory, I love this movie. There's just something about Rivette's touch here that it's just doesn't sing the way I want it to sing, if that makes sense. And I'm not trying to throw him under the bus or anything. But I do agree. I agree with what you said, Elliot. And yeah, it's interesting that this movie almost inspires more conversation about film going and the film going experience than the actual movie itself.
Yeah. Let's talk about that old lady that she goes and visits really randomly.
Oh my God, her like poo-poo?
Poopy.
Poopy.
Yeah.
Her poopy.
Her aunt or something?
Yeah.
Which is just so funny and random.
Well, it's the house next to the house.
Right. And then there's even parallels.
Where she grew up, because she's like, can I see my old room?
But there's parallels. She's like, do you remember the girl that lived next door? And I'm like, oh, wait, okay, so she knows about this house. And then Poupée or whatever, she's like, oh, yeah, you were always scared of her nanny. So it's like, oh,
the nanny she would become.
That's the thing. It's like, it's so weird. It's so random.
Yeah.
And also, I think it's interesting that the movie starts and Céline has this whole story about running away from the house because she found papers and passports of another woman, essentially. And that has nothing to do with what is the actual melodrama of the house. So I thought that was really... But that was the point where I was like, okay, now I need to figure this movie out. Like, something's going on.
And it's not one of those movies.
But it's not, exactly. Yeah. So... But I do like how they're weird. Again, for me, that is dream logic. Weird, vague parallels between like the two worlds.
Leads that go nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but do you guys know the Winchester Mystery House?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's this house in San Jose, and it's like Sarah Winchester, heir of the Winchester rifle, built this after
Did you see the Winchester horror movie that came out
with
in
Helen
2018?
Mirren?
I saw it with my movie pass.
Was it good?
No.
I remember hearing when Helen Mirren was announced for that, I was like, holy shit. And then I heard it was bad. But yeah, if you don't know the story of Winchester, because you don't live in California, yeah, she built this crazy woman. Her husband dies, who founded the Winchester rifle. And she just had this huge mansion in San Jose and kept building onto it because she used to have seances. You know, this is the Victorian era, so everyone's into spiritualism and all that stuff. And a medium told her that the spirits of the people who had been killed by the Winchester rifle would haunt her unless she kept building onto her house. So she made these hallways that would go nowhere, stairways that would go nowhere, doors you would open into a wall or you would open up and it would just drop off like 20 feet. And I feel like this movie feels like the cinematic embodiment of the Winchester mansion of just like, because the other words, there's so much of those. And see, like that, sounding like that, like I should love this movie.
Maybe the conversations are too long.
Yeah, I don't know. This movie's, but the thing is, this movie's almost above criticism.
Why?
Because of its mission statement of being this half-remembered dream and this meditation on cinema and friendship and like it's.
I thought you were gonna say French people.
Oh yeah, French people too. It is so French.
Well, yeah.
It's very French.
Yeah.
But yeah, you almost can't even lob any criticisms towards this because it is so intangible.
I don't know. Nothing. I don't think anything is above criticism. But I see your point in that
Yeah.
the film is designed in a way that it is not necessarily about if you thought it was good or bad.
Yes.
It's not
Sure.
necessarily the point.
Sure.
Yeah.
Although I loved the movie and I think it's very good. And
Yeah.
so that is my point
Right.
talking about it. But I do think there's something to say that if you did not feel compelled or stimulated by what the film is presenting to you, if you found it obvious or if you found it, simple or something, then I think that is a valid criticism.
Yeah.
I don't want you to think I'm shutting you down, Grace.
No, I don't at all. No, but it's the kind of thing where it's just it sounds silly, right? Because the way that you put it so beautifully, like once you accepted that a movie could bore you, then it opened up the possibilities. But for some reason I've resisted that, and I don't think a movie should bore me. But then I'm in my head, I'm like, why do I have these preconceived notions of what a film can and can't be?
I don't know.
Because that is valid. It's like a pitch upon Where's the Cool or whatever his name, Joe, where it's like he takes it as a compliment if you fall asleep during his movies. Or who's the other guy? I think even there's someone else too, but they're like, yeah, fall asleep. And there's something freeing about that. I'm like, great. And I am bored during his films too, but it's like it's like a meditative bored. Whereas in Céline and Julie, there are stretches where I'm just like, when is this over?
What about Jean Dielman?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies. I feel like it's for a reason. Also, strangely enough, watching Delphine Seyrig wash dishes for 3.5 hours never does get actually boring. And I think that movie almost transcends to it, almost like breaks you down into this like enlightenment. And I don't think something like Céline and Julie does that, where it's like, I'm bored in stretches of this and then it's never resolved.
Let's talk about sight and sound.
Yeah, let's do sight and sound. Elliot, do you have a favorite sight or sound if they're combined?
Okay, my favorite sight, I'll do my favorite sound first. My favorite sound was when Camille, it's like the second time they go visit the house, and Camille is like brushing Madeline's hair or something, and you can like hear like a faint water dripping somewhere. There's like birds cooing outside. I just loved that. No deeper meaning. Oh yeah, that is relaxing.
It's very, yeah. I often pick like running water or dripping water as my sound in a lot of these movies.
Oh, are we going around sound?
Why don't you do your favorite sound?
My
Jackie?
favorite sound is when they're in the story. It's like towards the end. And Céline is trying to tell Julie that Sophie's the murderer. And it's just so funny. It's like almost a combined, but I have another sight. But when she walks away, she says like, she's the murderess. And then Julie's like, it's just so funny to me. So here it is.
Yeah.
Elle n'est pas jolie, ma fleur?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great moment. Mine is the song that Julie sings when she's like at the cabaret.
Pretending to be Céline.
Yeah, pretending to be Céline. And it goes on a little long, but I like I just like the song. So here it is.
Fleur bleue, Josie fleur bleue, la bombe rousse, au doigt de mousse. Fleur bleue, Josie fleur bleue, quand je vous vois, messieurs. Si je veux vous faire le gros jeu, d'un clin, j'allume vos yeux. Si je veux mettre au cœur le feu, j'ai qu'à faire du gringue. Au bleu.
Well, that actually leads me into my favorite sight, which was watching Céline kind of perform magic in that club. Because to me, it felt like, one, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like, it looks beautiful. And also, it feels like what Rivette is kind of doing, like doing magic in this like black box-esque like kind of vibe. And he's like showing you all his tricks. And it just felt like a really nice kind of image for the film.
Only a few people are watching
What?
the performance.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's a great sight.
It is. Jackie?
Mine is the chase up those stairs in Montmartre when the cameras in the cable car.
Oh, yeah.
Following her. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah.
It's kind of like Angel's Flight here, where I think those work where it's like two cable cars and then one's at the top, one's at the bottom, and then just the gravity of the one going down pulls the other one up.
Oh, is it?
I think that's how Angel's Flight here works. I think it's the same thing.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a great image. And everyone on the cable car is like looking at her too.
And you know what's so interesting is you're in the cable car, you're on those stairs, like that's a very iconic place in Paris, but you never see the cathedral that's like right there, the Sacred Heart. Like you never see it. They just choose the stairway and the cable car. It's interesting.
Are you ready to finally make that dream a reality? Maybe it's updating your kitchen, paying down high-interest credit cards, or covering tuition. Your home is more than where you live. It's also your most powerful asset. At Unlock, we make it simple to turn equity into options. With a home equity agreement, you can access cash today without taking on monthly payments. Imagine the freedom to invest in your home, reduce financial stress, or finally start that big project you've been putting off. It's your home. It's your future. Unlock it today. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.
Interesting.
My favorite sight, you mentioned it. It's just the two of them after they steal the library book and they're skating away on roller skates. And homage to Les Vampires or whatever. I haven't seen it, actually. The
That's
serial
also like 12
from the
hours.
teens. Yeah, it is.
Greg's favorite sight was the black screen when the movie ended.
Speaking of black screens, I do love the few frames of black that this movie does here and there as a transition of like kind of taking a beat.
The title cards that say like the next morning?
No, even like just interspersed throughout, like someone will go into a room and then you'll get like a second of black and then you'll come back in.
Yeah.
It's almost like the closing of your eyes, right? Where you just like close your eyes for a second and then open them again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is normally where we would do a Pauline Kael review. Didn't review it, but I do have a little piece of gossip here. Pauline Kael walked out of this movie and she said, "I'm going to the movies," as she was leaving.
No, she didn't. Who said that?
I found it in an article, but
really?
Yeah, she walked out. And I see that. She wouldn't be down with this. And, I get it, Pauline, shit. But I also have, I wouldn't have left this movie because I think it's too intriguing to leave. Because the whole time, this movie's doing such interesting things. You always want to see where it's going to go next. It's never like, fuck, like this movie is it does have tricks up its sleeve. It does. It's just tedious sometimes. But no, the movie does have this, like, I was intrigued, especially this second time seeing it. I didn't remember a lot of it. And I remember why I didn't now, but
that's insane.
Pauline walked out.
That is insane.
That's crazy. Yeah.
It's crazy for her because the walkout is kind of seen as like a little bitch move,
Well, she was sassy.
Especially if you're a critic. It's like, no, you're supposed to stay for the movie. But then it's funny is like, also more and more I empower myself to like stop a movie if I hate it.
Oh, I don't.
I don't do that either.
I do it now. It's a new thing for me. It's just in the last couple years.
Give us an example.
Well, I did it on the show. And people wouldn't let me forget.
Well, yeah.
I did it for...
You had an assignment, Greg.
Yeah, that's the thing with critics walking out of movies. It's like, okay, well, that's kind of
That's literally what you
literally
did.
your job is to watch the movie. So it would be like if I walked into work and was like, actually, you guys, I'm not feeling this today, and walks right out. It's your job.
But it's like a powerful statement. I see it both ways because it is Pauline Kael's job to review the film, but then there's also...
But I also love a public scene.
Yeah, where there's like, fuck this.
I'd be, yeah.
Yeah. Who heard her? That sounds like a room. That sounds like
that's what I read. That's what the internet said.
I hope it's true because that's a really great story.
This is from the New York Film Critics Circle. It's an article they published.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually a review on there, and they mention her walking out.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so that's Pauline Kael.
Wow. That's one we have not seen before.
No.
That's a first.
Because we either, like,
She
there's
doesn't
either
have
a review
or she has it.
Yeah.
Not this.
her walking out.
That's funny. Wow.
Yeah, but
I kind of love that.
I love it
I
too.
do too. Should we do Letterboxd?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, well, I'm going to start with Greg's review from when he watched this in 2019. This was my first Rivette. This has to be one of the vaguest narrative films out there, and coupled with its hefty runtime, it makes for an intimidating watch. It's something I imagine loses a lot of people in the first act. I was close to turning it off and picking it back up at a later point. But once you get a little bit of a grip on how it's operating, emphasis on little bit, you gradually ease into it.
Just being fake as fuck.
No, but see, this is how you change over time.
And then you quoted the French you said Céline and Julie vont en bateau. Phantom Ladies over Paris exists in one of those dark, dusty corridors in cinema that's made of real magic. It's hard to talk about this without babbling on like some neckbeard doofus, but yeah, this is a one of a kind cinematic experience. You gave it 4.5 stars, and you wrote the title in French. Who is this person?
We have never seen levels of pretension so high with this man.
Well, see, that's the thing too, is that is the thing about art and yourself and your relationship to it. I don't know. Interesting. I forgot that I loved it that much.
That's crazy.
I still think there's some part of me that
loves it.
No, well, that was really grappling with it and just gave it the benefit of the doubt. We're like, I don't know how I feel, but sure, it was amazing. I don't know. It's someone gave it 4 stars. I'm not even quite sure what they're talking about here, but they said me when I take an edible and watch Seinfeld. Seinfeld. I don't see the.
That is funny. I like this one. They wrote 5 stars. AKA Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic.
Ugh.
Listen, Alice, it's really Wonderland. The roles offered for women were mistress, frail, wilted woman, nursemaid, and victim. So the spectators broke in, played themselves, emphasis on the play, and rewrote the ending. The most hilarious revolution, Irma Vep on wheels. I actually really like
Irma
that.
Vep on wheels.
Yeah, that's what happens in the movie.
Yeah, sure. Okay, fine.
I found one that I want to read, and it's just a little bit of a longer one.
Yeah.
And someone said, once upon a time, around the turn of the century, I was a regular poster on the Gold Derby message boards. One of the other regular posters there was Darren Navarro, who went on to edit films such as William Friedkin's Bug and Killer Joe, among others. I remember disagreeing with him on a few topics, but one still stands out to me almost 20 years later. I made an argument that the most important element in a film was the plot. If a film had no plot or the plot did not make sense to me, I was not going to be a fan of the film. Darren Navarro responded on the message boards by telling me that film is a visual medium and that if I wanted a plot, I should go read a book. I disagreed, of course, and obviously did not think so at the time, but Darren was absolutely correct. Plot is not the holy grail of watching cinema. I think that it is a little trite, but is true.
Oh, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I feel like when people start getting serious about movies, that's always someone's like first criticism of a movie. It's like, there's no plot. In fact, when people tell me that, it just like pisses me off because it is true. And that's so not what film is about.
Yeah.
It is visual and it's character and it's mood.
Yeah.
More than plot.
But it's also completely evident to, I think, anyone who, has a big diet of films, like watches a lot of films. When a film is aiming to have a plot, you can tell when a film is aiming for something besides that.
Yeah,
it's almost when it becomes qualitative. But it's like I just watched a film yesterday that I don't think wanted to be the same scene over and over again, but it was. Like you can,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Someone gave it 4 stars and just said. A movie about getting high, being gay, and binge watching TV. Rivette was a filmmaker ahead of his time. That brings me to we didn't discuss.
We didn't really talk about that.
Do they sleep together? Are they romantically linked? I think probably.
I think probably too.
I don't know.
I mean,
who
does it matter?
I was going to say, who cares?
No, I know. Yeah, who cares?
I think the point is that they just kind of experience this, almost surreal connection.
Yeah.
It's,
For sure.
Honestly, one of my pet peeves when I feel like in a lot of discourse lately, people
like
talking about queer baiting.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can actually just be really close with your friends of the same
No, it's true.
gender.
Yeah, no, it's true. I think people love to read gay
It's almost-
subtext into almost anything.
Yeah, it's a little exhausting,
Yeah.
I think.
We didn't really read any bad reviews.
Well, even like one of my favorite movies, Midnight Cowboy, for years, whenever it gets brought up, people are like, oh, yeah,
People are
it's,
like, they're,
it's so gay. I'm like, well, not really.
Yeah. It's
Like,
okay for a movie to be about intimate friendship and not be gay.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be gay.
No, it's true. And people totally miss that
Yeah.
because they want to read. Maybe they think it's more interesting if, yeah.
But it's actually intimate friendships is at this point so much more interesting
Yeah.
than gay stuff.
Non-sexual.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Greg, half a star. Fuck the fucking nouvelle fucking Vogue.
No, that's not me because I like some of it.
Oh.
I like half of it. Let's just say that.
Someone gave it 1 star and said, I would rather watch paint dry.
But then someone here said it could be 1,000 hours and it would still go by way too
Wow.
fast. You know, I would love to sit this person down and like actually show them 1,000-hour cut of this and see what they have to say.
Yeah. See how strong they really are.
Yeah.
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 Well, this was Céline and Julie Go Boating. Elliot, well, first of all, people should watch out for your film. But thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you guys for having
Thanks
me.
for
I've been wanting to have you for a long time just because I knew you would come in here and you'd come in hot, which you did. You didn't disappoint.
I hope not.
Next week, we're doing Jane Campion's The Piano.
Oh.
So come back for that.
How fun.
Elliot, thanks again for joining. It was a pleasure.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks,
Love being
Elliot.
here.
Until next week, I'm Greg,
I'm Jackie.
and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Seen and Heard is an official podcast of the Arroyo Film Club. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to drop us a line, you can find us on email at hello@seenandheardpod.com or on Instagram at seenandheardpod.
Ah, DSW, birthplace of the humble brag. Here, the shoes are so good, no one would ever know how little you paid. If you didn't go telling everyone, that is. And with never-ending options for every style, mood, and occasion, all at really great prices, we'll definitely give you something to brag about. So go ahead, stock up on fresh sneakers from your favorite brands, or try those boots you always secretly knew you could pull off. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or at DSW.com. Let us surprise you.